I would just leave this on your desk, Kingsley. The way you were itchy when I was doing this narration, something is in your mind.
I'll take from where Honorable Celestine said something about dance. He said something about drums. My grandmother would always say, when a masquerade is dancing, don't look at the waist, look at the legs. You know the dance now. That's where you trace it. And your angle to this whole situation this morning is quite eye-opening.
Yeah.
I mean, you ask the question, why has the APC not thrown their back behind Toyoko?
They withdrew their case.
Why APC not throw their weight behind Senator Magnus? Why did the APC not throw their weight behind Rotimi Chibi? You know, so somehow it's like they were pushed to the fore and then the rug was pulled.
Yeah.
Like you said. You know, so what is the big game? Remember earlier on we had discussed and I said it's a divide to conquer situation. It appears to be a divide to conquer situation. Maybe this time around for states like Rivers State, maybe not necessarily to get the governorship position, but to keep the state in a condition, following your analysis, such that it really cannot move forward, make progress amongst states in Nigeria, come to that place of power that it should rightly own by virtue of the amount of natural resources and the contributions to the economy of Nigeria. So it's a bit absurd.
Okay.
Really. You listen to the Elders Forum. I actually saw the brief live where they earlier said, led by former Governor Rufus Ada George. He actually said at that time they had sent letters to both governors. They are waiting a response. Their communique this morning says no response from both parties. So let's really look at the no response from both parties. Yeah. Why would the River State governor, similarly for Brazil, find a need to ignore the Elders Forum? And why would the former governor, now FCT Minister, Nyesom Ezenwo-Wike, also find it to ignore the Elders Forum? Let's not forget that sometime last week, one of the elders was and said, actually accused them of not speaking up about this problem because, like he said, his words said they were compromised and they did not have moral standing to wade into the matter. But here, this group have waded into the matter and they have spoken quite firmly, but no response from both warring parties. Why would both warring parties ignore them as it were?
Well, if you ask me, I think the group was not properly constituted. That's the problem. The group was not properly constituted because if you look at when this crisis started, after E.K. Clark make his statement, which was laced with ethnic, with ethnic undertones, the next person that spoke was
INC.
Was Seraigbe.
Yes.
And he made very weighty allegations against Wike. So, mere looking at the composition, you have heard Ankyo Briggs also release very terrible things about what was happening. So now, these are the people that form the elders. You don't expect a Wike to even respond to any invitation or whatsoever that had names of
so
those
the constitution is lopsided.
Yes, who he has seen to be taking side,
right?
Who have already given verdict,
right?
With that before investigation,
right?
So he has seen them as those who are accomplices. They are already in it. They have shown you where they are kicking the bottle. Yeah. So now you don't expect the governor to also honor that because you will be accused of being the one that sponsored them. So at this point, you're on your own. I did not send any person, even if they sent anybody. But so I think it is very unfortunate that Governor Ada George was, there as the leader. Otherwise, remove the name of Governor Ada George. The other people are people that add one comma or the other, that if their names are in a paper inviting any person on a serious matter, nobody will honor it. So I'm not saying that they are bad, but that is what I'm just telling you, because I've told you what Saraigbe said on Arise TV, right. And he was very blunt. And Wike did not allow the governor to work. How he took this, how he did that, how he appointed all his commissioner, how he said so many things. Then you see that name. I'm not saying that what you said was wrong, as right or whatever as it were, but I mean you see his name among those who are inviting you to come and settle. So why not settle first before you go and tell the world that I'm this, I'm that? So right. If I was Wike, I will not also honor it. Right. And if I was Sim, I will not also honor it, because people will accuse me to have been the person that sponsored them.
Right. In that same thing, would that not also be a clear reason why Mr. President would also refrain from wanting to respond or intervene? Because with all presidents, Mr. President is an APC man, is a party freak. And look, we have a situation where even in the National Assembly, at his budget presentation, instead of the Nigerian National Anthem, his what's the word? His campaign song,
his mandate
was what was sung. So I mean, does that not tell us already that he would show bias in favor of the APC?
Okay,
and by virtue of that, also in favor of his minister.
Okay, let's just while you were on that, the call for a Rivers Elders Forum seeking this communique, the issues they raised, they talked about critically the need to protect the state and ensure that chaos does not break out. And now, looking at what my colleague is pointing out, this them seeking Tinubu's intervention. That's in line with what he has asked. What exactly is that intervention going to do for Rivers State as it is? Earlier on, we said he should wear the big boy shoes and stamp his big feet on the floor, on the ground, to ensure that the needful is done. Joining our voice to that of the Elders Forum right now, what my colleague has said, what do you think this intervention is going to amount to?
Well, the assumption is that after you win election and you become the governor or you become the president, you become a president for everybody, whether APC, whether UPC, whether NMP, whatever party. That is the assumption. And so they expect that what he did in Ondo, because recently he intervened and things are working there now, that what he did in Ondo, he should also do here. But I've not told you at the beginning of this interview that there is an economic factor, an economic undertone, that it's like Rivers State is just like a small, a mini Nigeria. The thinking of the West is that if Nigeria is liberated, Africa will be liberated. So let's do everything humanly possible to cause as much confusion as possible in Nigeria, to keep Nigeria rudderless. That as long as Nigeria is not stable, as long as Nigeria is not progressive, the rest of Africa will remain like that. That is the thinking of the Western powers. And that's why Nigeria is wobbling the way it is. Nigeria is one of the most endowed nations in the world. If you remove all Nigerians from here and dump them somewhere and bring the white people here, 6 months, they will turn this place beyond what you have in Dubai. Because the wealth is here. But there are factors that keep making you restless. A man that is restless cannot settle down to do anything. The same thing that is happening to Nigeria is what is happening to Rivers State. The forces at work here that is disorganizing and destabilizing Rivers State knows that the day Rivers State used to be a Ghanaian state. Every Ghanaian state, people tie rapper, enjoy themselves, carry walking stick, commonwealth. In fact, if you come, you don't know Whether River State belonged to some people, it belonged to everybody. It used to be Gama. That was an envy. Whatever. And Rivers, that was bringing progress. People were trooping into River State. We have a wonderful environment that attracts tourists and beautiful. So, as long as River State is not stable, all the visitors that would have come here will come to fuel the economy in Lagos. And that is what is fueling the whole of this thing. The day we understand that, we will not even want Lagos to come and settle our problem because they will bring more fuel into it.
Right.
So I don't expect Mr. President to even do anything that will help River State to move further. What we should just do is to know that this is our state and nobody will come to help us. And we should come together, settle our beef, accept the mistake we have made. Mistakes have been made. Several very heavy mistakes have been made within these few times. That if it was in some states, buildings will be burned, people would have been killed by now. But like I said, River State man said people love life. So the earlier we know, the better we should come together and see what we can do to solve our own problem ourselves.